Okay, so the dashboard is finished now, I promise. All we need to do before we send it back to Suzy is to apply some protective measures so that these students don't accidentally move things around or delete anything. So the first thing that I'm going to do, which I always find is a nice touch when building dashboards, is to hide any rows or columns that are outside of the dashboard. So the first thing I'm going to do is adjust this column here so that it fits within the width of my page. Looks like that's ready now. And I'm going to select the next one, press Ctrl-Shift-Arrow-Right to select the rest of the columns in the worksheet, and then just right click and hide these. And you'll see that it just leaves this gray area. Now let's do the same for our rows. Let's go from 38 down. So again, Ctrl-Shift-Arrow down, right click and hide. And once we've done that, let me show my ribbon here real quick. You can actually go to the View tab, remove these headings altogether. You can remove the formula bar as well. And if we go back to full screen view, you'll see that it creates this nice little space where my dashboard lives. Now the next thing I'm going to do is hide the data in the data prep tab, since we want these to stay in the back end. So I'm going to select one, shift, select the other, right click, and then just hide these. And to take one additional step, I'm going to go to the Review tab and protect the workbook structure. Press OK. Just so that students can't unhide the worksheets that are hidden or add new ones. And the last thing that I'm going to do is protect the worksheet. Let's uncheck these boxes, press OK. And what that's going to do is not let the students move around any of these charts or delete anything. Now let's just check that everything still works. And it looks like we're getting this error, so we might have overprotected here. But let's read what it says. So the cell or chart that you're trying to change is on a protected sheet. To make a change, unprotect the sheet. You might be requested to enter a password. Alright, so what's happening is that as I click on this form control, it's trying to change the value of the cell that it's linked to. But since we locked that cell, then it's not letting me. But we can fix this. So I'm going to go back to my Review tab and unprotect the sheet. And all I need to do is select the two cells that are linked to my form controls, press Ctrl-1 to open the Format Cells dialog box, and we usually lived either in the Number tab or in the Alignment tab to center across selection. But this time we're going to go to the Protection tab, and you'll see that right now both of these cells are locked, and what that means is that once I protect the sheet, it's going to effectively lock them. But if I uncheck this box and press OK, now if I go back, protect my sheet, press OK, those two cells aren't locked anymore. So if I select my form controls, now they both work. Pretty cool, right? And what's even cooler is that we've now made it to the finish line. This is a finished dashboard that's ready to be used by the high school students. Now let's just see if the dashboard is accomplishing its purpose. So say I'm a student that's interested in studying finance. Let's go to finance here. It looks like it's one of the best paid industries with an average salary of $90K a year, although it doesn't look like there's a huge job market. The wages have been increasing significantly lately though, and even though the number of employees did fall from 2019 to 2020, this number is still higher than 2018. Now, what would be the best place for me to go to college and try to land a starting job with a good salary? Well, let's look at our map by average wages, and it looks like that would be New York, and it looks like the average wages are twice as large as the average for the US, which is great. And if we go back to look at employees per 1,000 capita, it looks like there will be plenty of opportunity there as well. I mean, maybe not as much as Delaware, but still pretty good. And I don't know about you, but I think this dashboard is doing its job properly, which effectively wraps up the first dashboard project. I hope you were able to follow along and pick up some tips and tricks that you can apply to projects of your own going forward. But for now, time to get ready for the next project.